So we are now joined with the incredible Stewart Francis. First of all, welcome to the show, Stewart.
Hi guys, how you guys doing?
We're doing really good, thank you.
I'm really good, thank you. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Yeah, we got
Everyone's
a little bit stressed out, kind of ringing the hotel and everything, but we
Yeah.
finally got there. Sorry for being a little bit late.
That's okay.
Only about 23 minutes, it's not that long when you're a celebrity or whatnot.
Isn't it? It's more. It's double. It's like double the time. Celebrity time is double time.
We
normal
wouldn't
people.
know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nor would I, it turns out.
Well, anyway, we're going to crack straight on with this interview. You're obviously a big stand-up comedy star here in Britain. Obviously, you've appeared a lot of the times on Mock the Week.
Yes.
What's it like being on there with everyone?
It's all right. It's challenging in that there's 7 of us trying to share one microphone. So once you get through all that, it is what it is. It's what you see. It's helped my career considerably. It's what's put me on a lot of people's radar. So I'm very grateful for it. But it's challenging on the night.
And obviously, you sponge off what other people are saying as it's a comedy panel show. Who, when you kind of see the list of who you're going to be on the show with, do you go, "Oh, I'm glad they're on. We can kind of sponge off and we kind of bounce our comedy around"?
Saying sponge, that sounds despicable. I bounce off of or tap into as opposed to sponging from. But no, I'll see who's on, and it is what it is. It's oftentimes the same faces, so it's just like going back to work, as it were, and just seeing another shift with the same old guys.
That is absolutely fantastic. And obviously, you've done the Michael McIntyre Comedy Roadshow.
I have.
What was it like doing that?
Sponging off him, it was okay. It was a lovely gig for me personally because it was in Edinburgh, which I've got a lot of family up there, so it was very much a local gig for me. So, and it's obviously a high-profile show, so it helped the career.
And talking about Edinburgh then, this year, in 2012, you won the annual Edinburgh Fringe Award, for the funniest joke.
Best joke ever, yes. It was very much a highlight of my summer and one of the highlights of my career because it was just kind of came out of nowhere, and I was trending 4th in the world. I was doing interviews here and back in Canada. As it turns out, it was newsworthy back in Canada. It must have been a slow day news-wise back in Canada, but they were interviewing me, and it was cute because they were asking me, like, the joke is, it really gives kids a bad name, Posh and Becks. So that's the joke. But they were saying you won the best joke with your Posh and Becks joke. Could you now do that for us? It's like, oh, you've kind of given away the punchline, so wish me luck. So that was kind of adorable.
The joys of news teams.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's kind of quite a radio thing to do, though, isn't it?
I think.
Yeah, ask someone to do a whole interview based on a punchline that everyone already knows.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's the type of thing that we do. That's how desperate we get pulling at straws.
Makes for good radio.
Well, we like to think so anyway.
Nice.
So, kind of, obviously, you're from Canada. What was the upbringing like over there?
Horrible. No, it's lovely. Just get up and go play ice hockey, go to school, play ice hockey, and go to sleep. So it's every day. But it's lovely. It's my favorite part of the world. Britain, I love living over here, but Canada is very much my home. So it helped make me who I am, and I'm pretty pleased with that.
And how did you kind of come up into coming back into Britain to kind of do a lot of your comedy over here? Yeah,
well, I live here. I've been coming over here professionally for 15 years, and so 6 years ago decided to move here and give it a permanent go to see how that worked out. And I'm thrilled. I was more than happy to be a circuit comedian and just do the clubs on the weekends and hope that good things will come out of that, but didn't think it would have gotten to this level this quickly.
So where did comedy start for you then? When did you start realizing you were pretty funny and people wanted to hear you tell jokes?
Last Thursday. 1989, I did my first amateur night back in Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada, and that was the highlight of my career as far as after the show I was jubilant. I was punching the air in celebration because it was a great sense of accomplishment. So it's started then.
So as you were growing up, did you always know that you wanted to be a comedian, or did you kind of want to be an astronaut? Or
no, I knew it was going to be in the arts. I knew there was something. I hate to use the term special, but I knew there was something different about me than from the other kids, and I was raised by television, so that's where the creativity comes from. So I always thought I'd be doing something in the arts.
That's pretty incredible.
Kind of like you, Eddie, really.
Yeah.
Apart from the fact that I'm not funny. I try very hard, but it's kind of often I kind of say something and everyone goes,
Oh.
Or just laugh so he doesn't cry.
People start looking at their watches.
Yeah, or walking out, which is often what happens.
Oh.
Becomes my very fond pastime when with Eddie.
Yeah, Tom just walks out all the time.
Nice. There's
Yes.
support for you.
But it says here in this kind of bump that I've got about you that you've headlined all over the world. Where is the best place you've actually been able to headline?
Well, headline is just, I was just part of comedy shows around the world, so Hong Kong, that one that jumps out, because it was on a personal level, it was a very significant gig, but just to, as a Canadian comedian, Canadian kid growing up, when was I ever going to get to Hong Kong? And comedy took me there, and it's some amazing things happened there. But that would have to be that's the first place that came to mind.
Brilliant, that is. So Hong Kong is another kind of special place for you. What makes it so special?
I met my wife there. She was minding her own business, trying to live her life normally, and then I stumbled into her life, and that was coming up 11 years ago. So yeah, it was special in that sense.
So as you were growing up, obviously kind of in Canada, who were the big comedy stars that you wanted to be like? Who were your heroes?
It wasn't so much Canadian comedians, because I watched a lot of my stand-up would be American comedians. So Steve Martin was was probably very influential, because he was before he started making horrible movies, he was a very funny, innovative comedian. So seeing him on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson and other comedians that would be on that show, that's what kind of possibly planted a seed in my head that comedy might be the way. But I didn't have that. There's a lot of comedians that will have that moment where they saw so and so performing in such and such a time. I didn't have that kind of that pristine moment where it's just that's what I want to do. It's kind of it's been an evolution from childhood to this conversation.
So what have you got coming up after your current tour that you're on at the moment?
I've got a TV show idea that has been pitched to a couple of production companies, and all seem keen to do something. So you narrow that down to one, and hopefully that idea will be taken to a TV station, and hopefully we'll get a pilot made or something like that. But I'm going to shift all my creative energies towards that.
That sounds ace, because TV shows kind of with comedians are obviously brilliant, because obviously Ricky Gervais has gone in and done something with that with the Idiot Abroad, well, kind of the spin-off before the Idiot Abroad. And talking of Ricky Gervais,
yes,
what's it like working with him? Because you've done stuff with him before, haven't you?
I supported him for his science tour, so like 60 gigs that we did together. It was great. It's one of the funniest comedians in the world, hanging out with Ricky Gervais.
It's just, I think it's a little bit unfortunate, though, that all the Americans just know him as for that one little thing that he did on The Office with his arms.
Yeah.
Because that seems to be the only thing that, kind of not being stereotypical here, obviously, but
no, clearly.
Kind of, that's all they ever seem to talk about when you kind of like hear about The Office or anything, or the UK version of The Office.
Well, that was the moment. That was the big moment. But it's for my money, it was the best sitcom ever. It was nice to be able to tell the man himself, and Extras is not far behind it, because that's a pretty terrific show too. Less dancing.
And just kind of one of the final questions that we've got for you here is your tour names are absolutely brilliant.
Oh, thanks.
They're very punny.
Mm.
Your first one, or one of them that you've done, is Tour de Francis.
Exactly.
And the second one is my personal favourite, Outstanding in His Field.
Yep.
And then the picture for the promotion is just you standing in a field.
Absolutely.
How did you kind of come up with these type of things?
I was doing a photo shoot, and I was in a field, and this is well before I thought I'd be doing a second tour. And I said, if this is going to be my tour poster, and I'm going to call it Outstanding in His Field, and the photographer and I both had a wee chuckle at that point. So that's where that idea came. The other one, obviously, the surname Francis, it wrote itself, but not every theater got that, because every now and then theaters would do their own posters. And for this, I forget which theater it was, but it says Stewart Francis in Tour de France. And I thought, oh boy, because as they're making that poster, they probably thought this guy's really missing a trick here, because he could have really cashed in on his last name being similar to France and could have called it Tour de Francis.